turned a borrowed $1,600 into about $200 million in around 10 years. Bro, this dude, this nerdy looking dude, clearly knew what he was doing, right? Can't judge a book by its cover here. Borrowed $1,600 and turned it into $200 million in roughly 10 years.
This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Ewell.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I really want to help you with trading, and the easiest way for me to do that is by heading to secretinvestingbook.com to get my book, The Secret Investing Book, totally free. All you're doing is covering the shipping price, and we'll send you this book that exposes 13 virtually unknown secrets to take the guesswork out of trading. So grab your copy now at secretinvestingbook.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and watch all of our past episodes.
Good afternoon, traders. Good afternoon, traders. I am glad that you are here. I got a big day today. I'm working with this company called Outlier, and we have been working on what the plan is going to be, how we're going to implement this, how we're going to market this, etc. And in the process, as you know, they've given me dev access to their platform. And part of that access is my fiduciary duty, I guess you could say, to make some trades and see what's going on. And holy moly, Victor. Oh my gosh. So we're going to close a trade today that is one of the best trades I've made in 2 years. And there's still one open that's almost as good, maybe even better, that's still going to be open. Now, I spent way more time than I needed to today because, as you know, this is like my passion and I love this so much and I could do this all day, every day. And that's why you work with me, is because I do all the hard part for you because I really enjoy it. Some people enjoy digging ditches. I enjoy trading stocks and the data around it. I can't stand pictures or charts, or charts are okay, but the way that people draw on the charts, right? That does not compute in my mind. But data, I'm good for data. Speaking of data, man, I've been backtesting so many of these. Let me go to my recently viewed. I think I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, at least 13 of them today by hand. And so this is not part of the trading, but I want to go ahead and show it to you real quick. So let's look at SPY first. So if we go into the Outlier platform and you go to the watch list and you go to SPY, open a new tab. What we see here are all these buy and sell signals, which is awesome. I like that. Talking to one of the developers, he mentioned to me that he's like, hey, if you watch the oscillator, you can actually see early the buy and early the sell signal. And I was like, really? So, this week I've been talking about the curling over, right? That would be the point at which to exit. I know it gets a little bit obfuscated, word of the day, obfuscated by the price ticker up there, but kind of like this, right? It's curling up, curling over, and going. This button right here, I did not know existed until I clicked it. And I was like, whoa, this is cool. So looking at this tells you the buy and sell signals, just like it did on the other side. But there's colors associated with this. Now, when I mentioned the colors, that got me thinking about the colors actually mean a lot. When we first started working together with the Outlier team and myself, everything was like purple and gold instead of green and red. And I didn't get it. I really didn't get it. And they're like, well, listen, if it starts turning from purple to gold, that could be your entry signal, or one from purple or gold to purple, then that's your exit signal, or vice versa. Now that they've codified it to be green and red, and then throwing on top of that the buy and sell signals, this is about to change the game. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. Like, the amount of money I made in the last week tells me that we're onto something good, really good. So let's break down what I discovered, okay? Let me scoot this over. If you buy and you wait for the shades of green to get darker. And I am very much a nerd. And I actually have it for like the shades, like the actual color code of the shades, because I'm very pedantic like that. I have this Google web browser thing that allows you to pick the color from the web page. So for example, if you buy it here and you wait for this color code, which is 884DB0, and yes, I am that pedantic, and that is this right here, 884DB0. That is actually the exit point, earlier than the sell point here. So I went through with that mentality of discovering which color codes, because in reality, there's a number associated with this. I just don't, the numbers are not on here, right? I discovered which color codes worked the best for the exit signal to go along with the entry signal. And then I threw an extra layer on top of that. And if it's above the 10 period, which you know is the blue line, that's bullish. If it's below the 10 period, which is the blue line, that's bearish. Now, there are times like here, April 21st, which is a sell signal, but it was still above the 10 EMA, so I didn't take that. So only when if it's in the direction of the trend, which is just the 10 period, not everything else. At the end of the day, this had 5 out of 5 winners. Maybe 5, maybe more. Hang on. Yeah. In the last year. $25 on the SPY. $20 on the SPY. $23 on the SPY. $14 on the SPY. $12 on the SPY. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 out of 5. XLI. I just did this one before we started. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 5 trades. And some of these were like 1.5, 6.8, 1.3, 2.0, and the loser was 3.7. So by far, the winners paid for the losers. Let's do XLV. This one only had 3 opportunities. 1, 2, 3. All really big winners. CL. This is one I'm in right now. I don't have the markings on there, but this is my other huge winner. It's up over $4 at this point. COF, which we're going to exit today. This one I've got over $5 and $5.50 worth. I mean, these have been monster trades, and I am so stoked about this. So, couple of changes after reading through this, learning about this, was the exit points as well as the entry points changing a little bit. But, oh man, XLF, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 5 winners. XLP, 1, 2, 3 out of 4 winners. XLK, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 7 winners. And it just goes on and on. Did I do TPH? TPH only has 2 in the last year, and both of those are winners. TPH is coming up today, which is why I did it earlier. So I am crazy stoked about this. Like, this is going to be a big deal. And the fact that we have access to it like this, and we're going to be trading it together, is a really, really big deal. So I can tell you right now, this is going to be monumental. So let's jump into our market analysis. Welcome to the 10-minute trading room. This is how to trade only 10 minutes a day. I zoom out just a tiny bit. And exactly how we take the guesswork out of trading. Now with our 10 minutes to freedom trading strategies, you know it always starts with the market, but we haven't been trading this for a while because the market signals are continuing to be conflicting, right? So let's go to the SPY. And we do have the 10 over the 20, price over the 50. So this is bullish. All right, bullish here. MMFI got stomped today, down to 38%. This has been the biggest factor for us staying out of the market as long as we have. It's because the participation isn't there. This is not a broad-based rally. This is a really concentrated rally. And then FinClub actually came through red today. And I'm telling you, with the way that I've been backtesting these outlier results, this may be our go-to. I mean, legitimately may just be this from now on. So, with our 10 minutes to freedom trading strategy, today is the transition day. However, we do have some outlier opportunities. So no 10-minute trading, 10 minutes to freedom trades. Let's go look at some outlier trades. First thing we need to do is always start with the existing trades and look if we need to take those off. Now, I mentioned in the Discord we are going to take some off, so let's do that. And I've already made my notes on here. So this one we're going to take off today. This is COF, Capital One Finance. Got in at 99, getting out at 104.27. Just a tremendous trade on this one. I think because I rolled it a couple times, by the time I get out of this, it's an over 100% winner. Hang on. If I close it right now at 720, 720, that's 114% winner. I am not upset about that. Okay. Now, why are we going to close this? So let's go to COF on our watch list. And what we're looking for, switch to this view. And we're going to switch to 3-month. Is that this shade of green, as I've backtested. This shade of green actually means in their oscillator here, which I'll tell you the shade of green exactly, 88 D4 B0, which is what I mentioned earlier, should be construed as an exit point. I am that pedantic. Yes, I am that exacting. So this is going to be an exit point today at 104.33. So I'm going to mark this on here where we're getting out. I'm going to go close it. Mark it red. I'll drop it in the Discord real quick at the closing price. See where I get filled. I'm working the order around 730 right now. 725 is not filled. 720 is not filled. 710? Holy moly, why is this not getting filled? 705? Hang on. I have delayed quotes over there. What does it say right now? COF. The business account is great, but it's also super annoying because in order to get live quotes on a business account, I have to pay $150 a month, which is just so stupid to me. So I don't. All right, so 705 did not get, there it goes. Okay, filled at 7 on the dot. Okay, so 7 on the dot gets my return to 112.19%. Jeepers creepers. 531.23. Trade number 1, closed, COF, plus 112% return. Holy moly. This is best trade I've had probably since 2021. No. What do we do, Jorn? What was it last year's KHC? Since, I think, had in a year at least. All right, so we're out of, what's that, COF, Victor. Will Outlier be replacing TrendSpider? No, they Outlier is signals, whereas TrendSpider is charts, right? Because one of the things with Outlier, Victor, is it doesn't show like moving averages, and that is one of my filters, right? And I mean, it just doesn't show moving averages on here. Maybe they'll put that in at one point. I don't know if they will. But yeah, not going to be replacing TrendSpider for sure. They definitely work hand in hand, but a tremendous trade. Holy cow. All right. Next is CL. Now, like I say, this one has been a tremendous winner as well. Let's go look at CL. And this one is not to an exit point yet. We want to see this start to turn into one of these pink shades before we're ready to exit, and it's still in the green. So no, that one's a keeper. Next, let's go to UBS. Now, UBS, I will say, has not been awesome. I mean, we went long on this trade, and it's down from entry to here, 6%. Good gravy. But the thing is that it's not showing an exit signal yet. But then again, overall, in the grand scheme of things, it's very small potatoes compared to what we just took off in COF. But if it goes one shade darker, I believe is going to be my exit point, but it's just not there yet. So yeah, UBS has not been my favorite. But then again, it's not breaking me. SYF. This is an exit today. Let's go see why. Synchrony Financial. Change the view. Change to 3 months. Remember earlier we showed with COF roughly this shade. In fact, let's do that. I'll show you both of them together real quick. So this is COF. You can see that shade of green is roughly the same shade of green as this. So that would be an exit point. COF 3086. Now, I did learn something on this one. What I learned on this one is entering at the end of the day really would have been better. Because I entered this one early in the day at 3111. It closed the day at 3068, which is what this yellow line is. If I had waited until the end of the day, this would have been a small winner. However, because I put it on early in the day, taking it off now, going to be a small loser. SYF. Yeah, it's less than 10% loser. So let's close this one. Edit. All right, SYF is now gone, filled at 310. All right, trade number 2 closed. SYF at 310. Let me mark up my notes real quick. What was my actual return on this one? 1155. All right, so we're down with these two. Victor says, sorry, I've been away for a while trying to catch up on all the new stuff. Looking good. Kind of bummed I missed out on these trades. Yeah, dude. Listen, Victor, I was taking these trades. Honestly, I was taking these trades as an experiment. I didn't put a lot of cash behind it. I wish I had, but I didn't put a lot of cash behind it. But realistically speaking, I wanted to have skin in the game. If I'm working with this company, I want to see how it actually performed, and I am sold. I'll put it that way. I am sold on this. Let's go back to SYF. So SYF is gone at 3086. Okay. NLY. Now this one again is not been, I mean, it's not moving yet, but it doesn't have the exit point yet. And that's the thing, right? Steve Burns and I talked about this, and that was one of the things I really learned a lot from Steve is like, listen, if you have an exit point, or I'm sorry, if you're taking an entry based on this criteria, you need to take your exit based on similar opposite criteria, right? For every entry point, you need to have an exit point, and don't do anything in between. That was a huge lesson for me, because a lot of times, right, you get the trade and it starts to work and you're like, yes, I made some money. I got to take it off right now. And then you watch it just continue on without you. Or the opposite is true, and you put it on and then it starts losing and you're like, oh, I'm just going to keep holding. Maybe it'll come back eventually. But if you're not actively participating in what is my exit point, how can I define that? you're setting yourself up for failure. So that is why Steve really drilled that into me, is if you have an entry point, you must have an exit point, and don't do anything in between those times. So NLY was a sell signal here at 1845, give or take. And it's not gone into the pinks yet, which is where we would be looking to exit, somewhere in the pink zone. Or if it gets a buy signal. That I should caveat that. Caveat that? Depends on how fancy I want to be. Caveat. Depending on how deep into the pink zone it gets, or if it gets a buy. That is the exit signal here. So, like I say, there's no need to get out of this one. Out of NLY. Lastly, SBLK. S-Black. This is what Star Bulk. I think it sounds cool as S-Black. Super Black. This one here opened at 1777. This one's doing okay. I mean, what is the gain on in Super Black? 18.5%. I'm telling you, my UBS trade is not great. I don't like it at all. But I don't have an exit point on it yet. Let's do Super Black real quick. Or Star Bulk, whatever you want to call it. Super Black sounds like, what was it, Black Adam? That's what it sounds like to me. I think I clicked too fast. Yeah, okay, so here's our sell point. We're looking to get into the greens. That'll be an exit point for us if it gets into the greens, but it's not there yet. So we're going to let it roll in the sell as long as it goes. So Super Bulk, Super Black, Star Bulk, Star Black, that's a hold as well. So took off COF, took off SYF, holding CL short, holding UBS long, which I don't love, holding NLY short, which I don't love that either, and then holding Star Bulk. Star Bulk? Yeah, I was about to call it Star Black. Star Bulk short as well. So that's what we have on right now. Moving to the next section would be for new trades. I know we've gone long today. Please forgive me. All right, so I've already copied these and dropped them into the outlier scanner. And as you can see here, one showed up as set it for entry, and that was TPH. I mentioned TPH earlier. Let's go to TPH. All right, there's a good chance we'll put this one on. We'll see. TPH short, right? Yeah. TPH short. So here's the sell signal here. Oh yeah, I backtested this one. So I mentioned earlier, this one had two signals come through. Both of those were solid winners. 12% on that, 14% on that, just on the price. So yeah, this sets up really nicely. Of course, even though it sets up nicely, you can't just throw your entire account into it and be like, oh yeah, it's got a 100% win rate. No, I mean, anything can happen. So you still need to manage your risk. So this is a sell signal here. And in fact, let me go back to this. Yeah. So we got a sell signal, TPH, go in the outlier scanner, and you can get the position size. I'm gonna do this on my other screen for my business account. So TPH short, currently at 29.22. Okay, I got my position size. Let's go to Tasty Trade, TPH. Oh, that's right. When I looked at this earlier, the volume may not be there, or the open interest may not be there. 149. You could do it. It's not ideal. What would we go out a month? 59. What's the extrinsic value? 41 cents on 125. It's 32. No, we're going to skip that. It doesn't have that much volume. And at 32%, I was willing to forgive a little bit of volume, but I'm not willing to forgive volume and extrinsic value. So that's it. So at the end of the day, we're loading these into the outlier scanner and then we're moving them based on liquidity, right? We only had one that pulled through on the outlier scanner, which basically all this does is make sure that it has low relative strength and it is above or below its 10 period. So it doesn't look like we're going to be adding any trades. So big day, man. Am I stoked about this? So yeah, no new trades, just taking off those 2 and then holding, I think there's 4 more. Yeah, holding those 4. So let's move into our final thoughts. All right, so I like this account a lot. Search artist, he has some good stuff. Oh, he follows me. I love when I see somebody following me. Trading is more about patience and discipline than anything else. What do we say all the time? I just tripped over those words, didn't I? What do we say all the time? Where's the slide? Here. The key is consistency and discipline. Consistency and discipline. Sounds like this. Patience and discipline. Remember the story of Richard Dennis. Oh, I literally forgot that was part of this. That's Richard Dennis, right? He turned a borrowed $1,600 into about $200 million in around 10 years. Bro. This dude, this nerdy looking dude, clearly knew what he was doing, right? Can't judge a book by its cover here. Borrowed $1,600 and turned it into $200 million in roughly 10 years. And I don't have it on my desk. One of the greatest stories in trading, in my opinion, is the story of the Turtle Traders, where he taught his proteges how to trade his way. And then many of them went off to be very successful. Very successful money managers. And the others, you know what they didn't have? Consistency and discipline. So you're going to need that, right? You're going to need that consistency. You're going to need that discipline whenever you're trading. And a lot of that has to do with being patient, waiting for your entry signal. And then also at the same point, being patient, waiting for your exit signal. Because you got to have both. You can't just rely on gut feelings one way or the other. So once you have both, and you can execute those with consistency and discipline, that's when you'll be successful. Thank you so much for joining us in today's 10-minute trading room. I know we went long today. I got excited to tell you about the outlier stuff. We're going to have a process where it gets a little bit faster as we do it each time. But of course, thank you so much for coming, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow. Talk soon.
Hey, don't forget to grab your free secret investing book over at secretinvestingbook.com while